I'm sorry if the last movie left you more confused than you were when you started this, but hopefully this one will help explain everything. I've got 3 images here and they're different resolutions. Now the one on the left looks really good, the one in the middle is nearly as good, and watching on the video as you're doing you may not be able to see the difference, but on my big monitor here I can see that it's a little bit poorer than the other one, and the one on the right of course is pretty grim altogether. So this is the one you're trying to avoid. Now I'm in InDesign here, and InDesign has some wonderful tools for dealing with this, which we'll take a look at a little bit later, but not everybody's using it. So in order to discover the true resolution of your images, you're going to have to use a program like Photoshop. Other programs will work just as well, but I'm going to open this image in Photoshop and I'm going to look at the resolution in it. So this is the high resolution one, and if I go to image size, I can see that this one is what? 72 ppi? My goodness. And I'll go to the medium one, and I'll just use the shortcut key here, and I can see that again the resolution is 72 ppi. Well, let's go to this last one here, and it obviously looks bad, but its resolution is 300 ppi. So how can that be? Well, the truth of the matter is that the PPI is absolutely irrelevant if not taken into consideration with the size that the document or the image is being viewed or used at. So let's go back to our high resolution one, and we'll go back into that dialog box here. And one thing you can see here, that the width is 2400 pixels and the height is 3600 pixels. So there's a lot of pixels in this particular image. We'll do the same with the medium one. It's a lot smaller, a lot less pixels in it. It's 675 pixels by just over 1000. And then the poor one, it's only got 30 by 45 pixels, yet it's 300 ppi. But if we come down here and look at the width is 0.1 of an inch by 0.15 of an inch. So if I were to print this at that size, which is 1/10 of an inch wide, then there'd be enough resolution in it to print on a commercial press. Let's go back to the others and take a look at them again. Now this is set at 72 ppi. What if I change this to 300 ppi? And I'm not going to resample it because you don't want to change the size of an image here. Enlarging it doesn't really help. It doesn't make it any better. But I can change this to 300 ppi, and notice how the width, which is 33 by 50 inches, changes. So this would be good to print at 8 inches by 12 inches at 300 ppi. Now let's say I were doing this on newsprint that was running at a 100 line screen, so I could put in double that, which would give me 12 by 18 inches. If it's a 75 line screen, I could do it at 150, and this would be 16 by 24 inches. So the resolution is only relevant to the width that you are going to use this image at. We'll go to this one here, and again I can change the resolution here to 300. Notice when I change the resolution, the pixels aren't changing because that is what's in the image, and that's not going to change unless I resample, which doesn't work. You can't resample up. You can resample down successfully, but not up. So you can see I can use this one as 2.25 by 3.37 inches, which is perfect for the business card that we were using on it. I'll cancel out, and then we'll go to our low one here, and then I can change it to 72 pixels per inch. And if I have something that I can use it at 72 pixels per inch, perhaps a web image, it would be fine, but I can't use it more than a fourth of an inch, and it's still 30 by 45 pixels. So the PPI can only be understood in conjunction with the size you're using that image. So check out your images in Photoshop or whatever photo editing program you're going to use to actually fully understand them. Now if you're using InDesign, you've got a great tool here. You can select the image, come over here to your links, and in the link info down at the bottom, it tells you the actual PPI of the image, which as we learned was 72, but the effective PPI here is 943 PPI. So it takes into consideration the size and the pixels and works out what your effective PPI is, so you can look at this and say, wow, this is exactly what I need, or in this case it's got way more. If I choose this one, this is 265 PPI. We're looking at 300 to print it at this size, but you know what, it's 2.5 by 3.7 inches, and I could get away with that. Notice as I make it smaller, the effective PPI changes. And then we have this one, the effective PPI is 12. So, in summary, when you're getting your images ready for press, if you're using vector images, you don't need to worry about resolution. If you're using bitmap images, you need to know the line screen of the press, which is probably going to be 150 to 175 lines per inch. So your images should be 300 PPI at actual size used. Now you can check that out in your bitmap editing program, but if you're using InDesign, which is such a great program, you can look at the effective PPI and then check it there. As it gets larger, your effective PPI will diminish, and as it gets smaller, it's going to get a lot higher. So I really hope that helps clear up the PPI issue that a lot of people have when getting their documents ready for press.